Welcome to the ZMY Begin class. So we just take it pretty easy here. We break down a couple of things, and whenever you need to ask questions, you can go ahead and ask questions. So just like every class, we just want to come together with the breath to begin. And we're not judging the way that we're breathing. We're just noticing it at this point. We're not going to judge it later either, but just observe how your breath is on the mat this morning. Notice if maybe your breath is feeling shallow, or if you're just using the lungs. I also want you to notice if your inhale is longer than your exhale or vice versa. This is something I want you to really focus on and notice. And I'll tell you why in a moment. So when our nervous system is in fight or flight mode, which can happen for a bunch of different reasons, our breath is going to tell us, and it's going to give us the signal where our inhalations are going to be longer than our exhalations. It's more of a shallow, panting breath. And we're going to actually do a breath exercise this morning to help with that. It could be anything. It could be any past trauma. It could be just something current, like doing a job interview. Like, there's reasons our bodies protect us like that and kind of give us the extra adrenaline kick. But when we're extra stressed, or if we have things that we haven't addressed or resolved, sometimes we have the cortisol and the adrenaline on a slow drip in the body, which keeps us in a constant state of fight or flight. We're not running from bears or anything like that, or tigers, but it's just what stress does to the body. And the breath is the first and easiest and it's free to try to help that, the anxiety and everything that comes with it. When your exhalations are longer, that's when you know that you've tapped into the parasympathetic nervous system and you're in rest and digest mode. So we're going to count our inhalations and exhalations. And your inhale might be 4 seconds, it might be 6 seconds, whatever it is. We're going to try to take a deep inhale and then let your exhale be at least 1 to 2 seconds longer, even if you have to just really empty the lungs. You can go ahead and start that on your next inhalation. Count in your head, and then exhale, and let the exhale be longer. Even if it's even, we're still better than the inhale being longer. Try not to force the inhale to come, let it come on its own, and you're just guiding it. Belly, chest, and then exhale. So for me personally, I do have past, PTSD issues. And so for things like loud noises, my body still reacts to those startling noises. It's something I can't control. So I go right to this breath and I try to get it regulated again. We're going to do this just a couple more times, and you can go back to regular breathing. And then go ahead, if your knees are bent, I want you to straighten your legs, bring your arms overhead, and take a long stretch, the longest stretch of your day. And then go ahead and bend the knees once again. You're going to bring the knees up towards the body and just hug the knees, rock a little bit left to right. Try to get the lower back squished on the mat, give it a little massage. And then slow down your rocking, bring your feet back down to the mat. We're going to take the right ankle to the left leg. So coming into a supine pigeon. Right ankle, left leg. If you can interlace the fingers behind the left thigh, that's what we're aiming for. And then you're just going to draw that knee towards the body. Keep both feet flexed so we can stabilize the knees here. And if you're feeling something with your foot on the ground, definitely just keep it there. Keep the shoulders soft. Keep the jaw soft. We're going to take 3 more breaths here. On that third exhale, go ahead and bring both feet slowly back to the mat. We'll do the other side, left ankle to right knee, interlace behind the right thigh. Draw the knee towards the body. And just breathe here. If your eyes are closed, you'll be able to focus more on what's happening internally with the breath, the stretching, where you're feeling tightness, just to kind of learn something about what's going on with the body. Take another breath. And then go ahead and release. All right, both feet on the floor. We're going to come into a twist here. So shift your hips to the right side of your mat and drop your knees to the left. Your arms are going to extend straight out. So we're trying to get both shoulder blades on the floor. If they are, and you feel like you could go a little deeper, you can bend at the elbows, just at a 90-degree angle. And there's so many reasons where twists they do so many things for us. Physically, they help with the lower back muscles. They keep things regulated with the digestive system. The organs get a little massage, which they like to be moved around. Two more breaths here. Let that right shoulder stay heavy. And then go ahead, engage the abdominals to bring the knee safely back up towards the ceiling. And then your hips will shift back to center first, and then shift them to the left, and then drop the knees to the right. And you decide what you want to do with your arms here. Soften the jaw, soften the shoulders. Go ahead, next inhale, bring the knees back up to center. Good, straighten the pelvis. And then straighten the left leg. So left leg is straight. The right heel is going to come as close to the body as possible. We're going to drop the knee out to the side. So just opening the inner hip here. So depending on the mobility in your knees or your hips, your foot can lower down on the leg. And then you can bring the arms way overhead. Just really open the lungs and breathe here. If you activate the glutes, you'll notice that the hips will open up a little bit more. And the left leg is going to stay active. So toes up towards the ceiling as if you're standing on that leg, just to give us some stability. We'll take 3 more breaths here. Go ahead and bring the arms down. Bring the right knee up towards the ceiling. Straighten that leg and bend the left knee. Drop that knee out to the side. Activate the right leg, toes up towards the ceiling. And you can just have your hands on your belly here or bring them overhead. You decide. If you want to keep stretching, keep stretching. Pay attention to your breath here. The idea is that as these poses start to get a little bit more challenging, which they don't get too hard in this class, but you want to keep that same slow, steady breath that we were doing in the beginning. Go ahead and bring the arms down if they're up. Bring the left knee up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to bend both knees. And once again, hug the knees up to the chest. Before we roll onto our side, rock left to right. Bring the feet down, roll onto your right side. And then bring yourself up to a seated position. Are you good scooting back a little bit? I got to figure out the TV part. Okay. I'm like, hey, Kate, move forward. No, as long as you just sit at the back of your mat for this part, you'll be totally fine. Yep. Yeah. I mean, I do make her go on everything that I do. And by the way, I'm happy that you're here because I know you like the faster paced stuff. So does it drive? Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Okay. Dawn was just in that class. All right, inhale, bring the arms up. Palms together, exhale, hands in front of the heart. Inhale up again. Exhale, hands down. Last time, inhale up. Revolve to the right and exhale the hands down. So your left hand's gonna come to the right knee. You're already nice and tall, so just keep revolving that right shoulder back and keep the shoulders away from the ears. Your head can stay over your heart or it can look over the right shoulder. It just depends on your neck. I'm gonna take a few more breaths here. And then exhale back to center. And we're just gonna move to the other side. So right hand to the left knee. Inhale, get tall first. And then exhale, revolve to the left. See if you can bring your awareness to the middle of the back where you're doing the most twisting. One more breath here. And then go ahead and release. It looks like I totally murdered this flower here. You guys didn't even say anything about it. I was just, yeah, I was playing with it during Shavasana. Inhale, bring the left arm up. Support yourself with your right fingertips, and then exhale, lean to the right. And just opening up the left side of the body here. Especially if we're going to be doing chaturangas here shortly. Left arm time. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale, lean to the left.
Well, I did my kind of cursing the last class.
Kate's version of cursing. You've got to be kidding me. Bring the right arm down. No, they don't. No. Okay, so you're either in easy pose, however you were sitting, bring your other foot under, or you're able to do that, right?
Yeah, it's just
the hip. Okay, and I don't want you to do that. Okay, we need to identify like what, because it is the, okay, all right. I almost said perfect, but that's not, that would not sound nice. Just like knowing. Good, okay. Yeah. Yes. Okay, good. I love it. I love just watching that. All right, walk your fingertips forward. It doesn't matter how far you get for any of these, by the way, just focus on engaging the abdominals, drawing the shoulders back, the inner edges of the shoulder blades. And for this one in particular, if you can go further, go further. Inhale, look up, walk the hands towards the body, and then we're gonna go to the right. So walk them to the right. You might be feeling a stretch in the left side of the body, the lower left back, maybe the hip. And then go ahead and walk to the left. Did I say left first when I meant right, or did I say right? Okay. Yeah. Go ahead back to center. Just to neutralize, sit up, come to your hands and knees. So first thing we're gonna do is child's pose. Bringing the knees apart, the big toes together. Sit back on your heels the best you can. If this isn't an option, you can rest forward. But the point here is to lengthen the spine and to rest. If you are able to sit on your heels, walk the hands forward. And if the forehead does not touch the floor, then stack your fists and let your forehead rest on the fists, because this should feel restful for you. This is a very calming pose to the nervous system. Plus it can, maybe even your ankles might even be feeling a stretch here. As long as your knees feel safe, then you're good. We're just gonna take a few breaths here. See if you can bring your awareness to the back of the body. And the breath traveling evenly up and down the spine. I smell chocolate cake. One more breath. Inhale, look up, bring your hands towards your body. And we're gonna come to hands and knees. So knees will end up being underneath the hips now. As far as the hands go, fingers are gonna be spread and you're pressing the palm of the hands into the mat. This is gonna help support your shoulders and get you stronger in all the right places. Your wrist creases are gonna line up with the front of the mat, so watch that. And as we're bearing weight, we wanna make sure the hand is just a little bit in front of the shoulder. We're gonna start with our cat pose. So we're gonna start on an exhale. So take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, push the floor, and then separate the shoulder blades and drop the head. And then as you inhale, you're gonna stick the tailbone up and the chin up. And you'll be able to feel the mobility in your spine here, like where it goes. See if you can let the spine sink into the back. And then we'll go back and forth. You go the way that it feels good. You could stay here for a few breaths, just continue to breathe, and maybe just move back and forth with each breath. And if it feels good to kind of twist a little bit or drop the hips, then do that too. Amber, your husband has the same elbows you do. That must be why you guys are matched. You guys both have hyperflexion in the elbows. It's so funny. Because it's not that common. It's not that common. All right, do 2 more rounds. And then we're gonna meet here with a nice flat back. All right, so bird dog pose. The thing about this and anything where you could possibly hurt the lower back, you wanna press the navel up towards the spine and engage the abdominals. We're gonna stick the right leg back and lift with the inner thigh, toes pointing down, and then extend the left arm forward. Just pull through the fingertips and then kick through the heel. Try to keep a nice straight line here, look straight down. Take one more breath. And then just bring the hand and the knee down. Other side, extend the left leg, extend the right arm. Make sure your supporting hand is in front of the shoulder. Look straight down. So we're trying to get just one long line from fingertips, arms to neck. So make sure you're looking straight down. The top of your head is facing me. One more breath. And then go ahead and bring the knee and the hand back down. Take the top of your right hand and press it into the mat. Just stretch the wrist out a little bit. And then shake it out, other side, top of the hand. Yeah. It is nice to have a treat with the music sometimes. Go ahead and shake that arm out. We're gonna thread the needle since we are gonna focus on chaturanga today. It's gonna be the best. It was requested. It was requested, and I won't. Jonathan, this is gonna be the best first class ever. So you're just walking right into it. Okay, right hand to the center of the mat, but we do want to stretch the arms here. Inhale the left arm up, and then exhale, thread the arm under the right. The best way to get the best twist here is really to push this right hand into the mat and keep the elbow pointing up. But if you are more comfortable reaching there or here, you can do that too. And then the left fingertips are just gonna reach through. You can let your head rest on the ground. Well, hold on one second. Come back up to hands and knees. I couldn't read your lips.
Okay. So when I'm under,
Mhm.
more weight on my left. Or should be.
I mean, you are going to have more on the left, but something that you can do is try to shift the hips to center. You can see if your body allows for that. We'll just, yeah, see if that works. Is that better? Yeah, I think it will. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and come back up. Left hand to the center. Inhale the right arm up. And then exhale, thread it through. Amber, can your hubby use your block for his head? Yeah, let your head rest there. The bubble gum block. Just take a few breaths here. See if you can feel it in the shoulder blades, and you can, work on shifting your hips to center, reaching the right fingertips, feeling it from maybe the shoulder socket. One more breath. And then go ahead, inhale, come back up to hands and knees. All right, so everyone just take a seat on their heels for a moment. All right, so I'm just gonna demonstrate chaturanga. I'm gonna show you some of the things that we have a tendency to do, and then maybe we'll use a block to do this or not. Do you have a block? If you don't, that's okay. Yeah, all right. I think that, here's the biggest thing. If you are not comfortable with lowering your body evenly yet, that's totally fine. But if you want to get stronger, the best way to do that is to use your knees. Like, be okay with using your knees, right? I mean, I even use my knees sometimes still. So can you see me okay, Robin? I mean, you've done this. Okay. All right. So how do I even know where? Typically what we're doing is going from, what do? We step back and do chaturanga, right? So hands are going to be where I know my hands are supposed to be. They should be at the lower ribs because you want your elbows over the wrists. Sometimes the hands are up here, but this is actually not the best idea for your shoulders. So you want them at your lower ribs, okay? The best way to practice this is to curl the toes under, and the elbows have to be scooped back. You're really using the muscles in the back of the body. Reverse chaturanga is the best way to feel this. I'm not lifting this part first. I'm doing my best to lift everything at the same time, okay? That's a lot harder than a regular chaturanga, but just to feel the alignment. So if I am, that's actually, by the way, how you know where your down dog should be. Hands at lower ribs, right? So if I'm going from here, I kind of start in plank where the shoulders are directly over the wrists, but I need to use my toes to shift forward, scoop the elbows in, and lower down evenly. Did I lower down?
That's the part I'm missing, straight forward down.
Okay. Okay. And just to suggest this too, because a lot of you in here have already done, and Amber, I don't think you can see me. Oh, there you are. Okay. A lot of you have been in here for a little bit. So when you are, you know, if we're not going from here to say cobra, say we're just going from here to like hands and knees, I'm going to challenge you to do, instead of going like this to child's pose or something, actually lift yourself evenly with your arms. You can start doing that. So you can do it. Let me take my socks off. Okay, so go ahead, everyone come onto their bellies. We won't focus too much on doing it this way because your arms might get a little bit sore. Okay, so hands at the lower ribs. If your shoulders are tight, this is gonna be hard, but work it. Now, elbows are pointing straight back. Your arms should be touching the sides of your body this whole time, okay? You can look up just a little bit and lift yourself evenly, curl the toes under. So if you're doing it right, you might be lifting yourself an inch off the floor. And Liz, you're doing it with your knees, so that could be different, but your elbows went out when you went up. So yeah, let's focus all on pinning our elbows in and then lifting up. Yeah. Yep. Does it feel different? Yes. All right. Unless you're like used to push-ups and stuff, right? Yeah, but some people call this like a tricep push-up, right? All right, we'll do it one more time and lift up and back into the child's pose we did earlier. So elbows straight back first. Go ahead and lift. And then bring yourself back in a child's pose or down dog. That's what you're used to. Okay, so go ahead and sit back up. I should show you the knee version because that's important. It's exactly the same, except you don't have to worry about toes. You just go right down. Yeah, because we'll have a tendency to do this. That's just strength stuff, you know? Yeah, I wish I could do the worm. I really do. That's like one of my dreams. No. I will never tell you. You have? Yeah. So chaturanga, straight down. Okay. Being inappropriate on the dance floor. Yeah. So the shoulders have a tendency to dump forward first, and that's what we're trying to not do. Right? Like they'll go forward first. Like sometimes you'll even see a chaturanga where the butt comes up and the shoulders come forward. That's really going to wreck your shoulders. Shoulders stay up, 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 up. Okay. Good? Yes. Yes. You did it. And it feels good, doesn't it? All right, go ahead and sit up. Give your arms a little extra stretch here before we move on. Do you guys have any questions about it? Okay. It's really, it is? No. I do tuck my shirt in. You know that. I'm a tucker. I'm a tucker. All right. Hands and knees. Joe tucks his shirts in too, so we're like the tucking couple. Hands one palm length forward, curl the toes under, and then lift the hips up and back. Don't even worry about heels touching the floor or knees being straight. Keep your knees bent and just lift your hips up. Let your ears line up with your inner arms. And so if you do have hyperextension in the elbows, just bend them a little bit, just a little micro bend. And then you can pedal your feet out a little bit, do whatever movement you want here. And we won't stay here too much longer. We're actually just going to inhale, look up, and step forward. Just do it however you can. And then exhale, fold. Again, bend your knees if you need to. I'm more worried about the shoulders staying back so the back can get stronger. Press all four corners of your feet into the mat. We're going to lift and bring our hands to our thighs. Just a halfway lift here. It's okay. You're already warmed up. Everyone else might pass out though, maybe. So even here, it's like you're at a 90-degree angle. Try to lift and lengthen through the crown of the head. Inhale, arms up. I didn't even see you. Palms together. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Okay, so we're going to do a couple of sun salutations and practice that chaturanga, which is a part of it. I'm going to face this way since, Robin, you know how to do sun salutations. So you just talk. You're good. She's good. Yeah, yes, you're allowed. You're good. All right, so we're going to stand here for a moment in mountain pose. Press the feet into the mat. Activate the legs. Spread the collarbones, lift the heart, and let the palms open forward. You can say they're shining forward or whatever, but really we do this to externally rotate the shoulders back so we can lift the chest a little bit. And the more you lower your chin towards the chest, the more the heart will lift also. Inner edges of the feet are parallel. See if you can let the shoulder girdle do the work and let the hands relax. Yeah. No, you're good. I promise I'm never pointing out anyone in particular. Well, usually.
You go me.
I do?
Yeah, you'd be like, if your hand
Only if it's like a safety thing. But it's usually stuff that everybody does, you know, like we all do the same things. Take another breath here. If you feel like you can close your eyes, close your eyes. We're going to shift the weight a little bit forward, back, side to side, until you feel like there's a string just kind of pulling you and lifting you from the top of the head. And you just feel this absolute balance of the body, even through the fingertips. Another breath or two like this. Good. Go ahead and relax the arms. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees as much as you want to. And now inhale, look up halfway. So if you can do that with your fingertips on the floor, do that. If it has to be shins, whatever gets you to a flat back. And then we're going to exhale and step back and lower into that chaturanga. So step back, shift forward, lower. Good. And then inhale, lift the chest, shoulders, and head. Back of the legs are strong here. What the heck is going on with my hair? So your glutes are engaged, your hips are pressing into the mat. Curl the toes under, lift the hips up and back. So we're in downward facing dog, or you can always go to that child's pose for 5 breaths. 1, 2, spread the fingers and just look up at your wrist creases really quick. Make sure that they're lined up with the front of the mat. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, look up and step forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale your arms all the way up. Palms together. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Good. We're going to do that one more time. You guys look really tall when I'm down here. You're here. One more sun salutation A, which is what we just did, which we're doing 108 of on March 12th.
Really?
Everyone's welcome. Yeah. Inhale, arms up. She signed up. Yeah.
Okay.
Exhale, fold.
Do you have to sign up already?
Yeah. Inhale, look up. Get a nice flat back. Exhale, step back, lower in your chaturanga. Nice. Full exhale and then inhale, lift. Exhale, take it back. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, press the roots of the fingers, and 5. Inhale, look up, step forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up, palms together. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Good. How did that feel?
So much better.
Good. Yeah, like it's hard. It's not easy. Yeah. And when you're doing that 50 times. You're doing 50 chaturangas. You're doing 50 vinyasas, period. Yeah. And you do that. You do partial of that, just so you know. Well, in the level 2 class, we do some, the one where you said, give me a break already. But in the Mysore class, yeah, you do. She's face the window, separate your feet.
That's why I'm like, maybe I don't.
So if you have tight hamstrings, you're gonna have 2 options here. You can either use a block when we fold forward, because we're gonna fold forward here, or you can just bend the knees, because I'm more worried about your spine rather than your legs being straight. What your gym teachers told you growing up is incorrect. All right, so the inner edges of the feet point forward, hands are on the waist, legs are strong, your kneecaps are lifted, your glutes are engaged, everything is just super strong. Inhale, lift, and then exhale, fold forward. And when your hamstrings stop you, just bring your fingertips to the floor, drop the head. Good. And if you're extra flexy, you might want to shift your weight forward a little bit, because that's going to force you to make your legs work even more, which is what we want. And then take some breaths here. Good. Take another breath or 2. Inhale, look up. Bring your left hand to the center of the mat or your block. And then we're bringing the right fingertips up. Exhale, bring the right hand down. Inhale, the left arm up. So getting into the adductors here. Exhale down, hands on the waist. Inhale, come all the way up. We're gonna go down one more time. Exhale here. Inhale, extend the arms, re-engage the legs. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back. And then inhale, lift the chest. And then exhale, fold forward. Bring your knuckles up towards the ceiling. Yep. And just do the best you can here. For a long time, my hands did not even lift off my back. So just do what you can. We do want to push it to the edge though. Good. And take a few breaths here. Engage the abdominals. Inhale all the way up. And then exhale, you can release, bring your feet back together. Good. All right. So, because this is the first down dog and everything you've ever done, right? My favorite. I get so excited. I should start a tally of how many people that come through the studio get to do a down dog for the first time, or a tree pose or something. Because we're doing tree pose, we have to. Everybody has seen tree pose on TV, on the TV screen. I'm 900 years old. All right, shift your weight to the left leg. Here's the trick about balancing poses. Either you're using a wall, which is totally fine, or you really got to press the bum out of the big toe, because what that does is that grounds the femur bone into the hip socket. And then you're not like here, right? You're grounded with your skeleton. So go ahead and do that now. Lift the right heel. And so tree pose can simply be right here, or it could be here. Just stay away from the knee joint. If you can lift your knee above your pelvis, you can bring your heel here. Just remember, this can be good too. If you want to bring your arms up, you can. Everything is lifting in and up as your foot is rooted into the ground. Good. Have one spot that you're looking at and just breathe. Try to take 2 more breaths here. Go ahead and bring your hands back together in front of your heart. Point the knee forward. We're going to extend the leg forward and point the toes. 3 breaths. 1, 2, 3, and release. You didn't know I was going to throw that in there. All right, find your tree on your other leg. So right leg is grounded. Lift the knee. Find wherever it is. Good. Your hips stay forward. So where the knee goes is really irrelevant. Eventually it'll open up. Good. And just breathe. Feel that ankle working, getting stronger. Take another breath or 2. Hands together in front of your heart. Bring the knee forward. Extend the leg. Point the toes. 1, try to get your leg as high as it can go. 2, 3, and release. Nice. All right, back to the front of your mat. One more chaturanga for fun. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up. Exhale, step back. Remember, elbows touch the sides of the body, and you can use your knees. Inhale, lift. This is cobra. And then we're going to exhale back to child's pose. So at this point, you can put a block under your forehead to rest. And if you want to rest your arms, you can grab towards the bottoms of the feet and just come into a big ball here to breathe. Yeah, whatever feels good on the arms, whatever your favorite way to do child's pose is. Go ahead and take one more breath. If your hands are not on the mat, return them to the mat and then lift the head. Bring yourself to hands and knees. Cross at the ankles and have a seat. All right, so we're going to extend the legs out in front of us. And we're not going to stay here very long, but I do want to do, this is your second time doing Dandasana today. This one, yeah. And I guess other things too. The feet stay flexed here. It feels like your legs are ripping the mat apart. Okay, you're activating everything on the outside here, and the hands or fingertips, elbows point back. They're all on the side of the body. Just sit up nice and tall. If your hips are kind of weak, you're gonna feel it here. So just got to play with it. It's that fun yoga dance of okay. We're gonna just take a few breaths. Engage the lower belly in and up. Yeah, you can. Yes, so you can actually, you can use blocks, or you can just come back here. You can take this, I mean, this can be like a back bend. Just lift the chest as much as you can. Take one more breath. And then go ahead and release. My back was so bad for so long that that's where I had to do my Dandasana in order to get the pelvis to tilt. Otherwise, you know, it's like this, which is really, it takes a lot of strength to do this. And that goes for any forward fold. I mean, I literally was here like, oh, you want me to grab my toes? Here's how far I can go. You know, otherwise I'm like, yeah. So speaking of toe grabbing, let's bend the right knee. Grab it out, bring it out to the side. Don't grab it out to the side. And then you want to get the meat away from your skin or from your sitting bones, things like that, just to get really grounded. Inhale, get tall. And then exhale, just walk the fingertips forward. Use a strap if you have one. If you can grab the foot, great, but that's not necessary. Wherever you are, draw the inner edges of the shoulder blades towards each other. That's the important part. And then chin towards the shin to keep the neck neutral. It actually is blended in with my music, so inhale, look up, and exhale, release. All right, other side. Bend the left knee first to close the knee joint, because I want to keep these things for a very long time, and then drop it out to the side. Yeah. we must have started on different legs.
Sure.
Okay. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. So we're trying to get our belly as close to the thigh as possible. And if this is where you are, this is where you are. And then chin lifts towards the shin. Yeah. Draw the shoulder blades towards each other. Like if you get back pain, that is where the magic is in the shoulder blades. Because your lower back is taking on everything the shoulder blades should be doing, or the legs. The back is bending over instead of the legs, things like that. One more breath. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release. All right, lie down on your back. You were asking about glasses, right? See, Kate just took her glasses off because we were laying down. Yeah.
I took off my glasses because I can't do it with my glasses.
Go ahead and take a stretch or hug the knees. Do something that feels good here for the spine. Oh yeah, Amber, that's always my favorite. I always forget about that one. Well, bringing the toe, like crossing your legs and grabbing the toes. Yeah. Even just lying here and letting the spine settle a little bit is good. Yeah, you're close though. You're close. And go ahead and drop your feet towards the mat. We're going to do one more thing. And then we'll go ahead and get ready for our relaxation or our Shavasana. So we are going to do a little back bend here. It's not going to be anything crazy. Our knees are going to be bent. Your feet are about hip width apart or sitting bone width apart. And just in your mind's eye, I know you can't see your feet, but see if you can feel your inner edges of the feet pointing straight forward like we were in mountain pose. Shoulder blades are flat on the mat. Arms are along the sides of the body. And then on your next inhale, push your feet, lift your pelvis up towards the ceiling. Once you start getting your spine off the floor, maybe walk the shoulders closer together. You can even interlace the fingers underneath the body and kind of get a little bit higher. So just really get that spine off the mat. Press the inner edges of the feet, press the heels, use your legs and your abdominals to lift you higher. Take 3 breaths when you arrive. Keep going, you got it. Lower the pelvis and release the spine. Good. Take a breather. We're gonna do it one more time. Go ahead and prepare. And then inhale, lift. Good. Watch the belly go up and down. Definitely keep your neck neutral, looking straight up. Don't turn it left to right, but you can kind of see in your peripheral vision the belly go up and down. Try to take 2 more breaths here. Keep pressing the inner edges of the feet. And lower. Unwind the spine. Don't hug the knees just yet. Take a breath first. And now you can either rock the knees back and forth, hug the knees, take a stretch. Any last minute stuff before you get your sweatshirts and socks on and get ready for Shavasana. And I'll encourage you to get as comfortable as possible for this. Oh, I thought that was a blanket. It's like a blanket you wear for sure. I love it. I mean, I've always, for Shavasana, I've always, gotten real cozy, maybe a hood, and then I'll take a blanket and just cover my head. I just love my face being covered. All right, so when you're ready, our last pose of every class is corpse pose. And it is just what it sounds like. You lie down on your back. Your arms are along the sides of the body about 6 inches away. And you're gonna let the heels be, or the ankles be separated, or the heels be apart. Just let the feet hang out to the sides. Palms facing up, just to get the shoulder blades as flat as possible on the mat. And then let your chin be just a little bit lower than the forehead so we can release the neck muscles. Begin to soften the muscles in the face, forehead, corners of the eyes, corners of the mouth and the jaw. Feel the ribs soften, the navel fall to the back of the body. And bring that release into the hips, the legs, the knees, even the shins and the calf muscles. Feel everything soften and let go. And then bring your awareness back to the breath. We're allowing the breath to come and go with whatever rhythm that it is set into. Feel the rise and fall of the belly. As you lie here for the next few moments in silence and just allow yourself to be. The thoughts are going to come and go. That's okay. Let them. If it gets to be too much, follow the inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Bring your awareness back to your breath. And allow your inhalations to begin to deepen. And after another breath or two, go ahead and begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes to slowly wake the body. And then bring that movement into maybe the wrists and the ankles. Maybe start rocking the head back and forth. Until you're ready to bend the knees. Taking any extra movement you need here. And then go ahead and roll onto your right side. Use your arm as a pillow. Connecting to stillness is like connecting to silence. We come to see that stillness and silence form the backdrop of our lives, and that everything else is just passing through. Sounds come and go, sensations come and go, thoughts, emotions, all of them traveling through stillness and silence, like fish moving through an eternal ocean, or weather traveling across an eternal sky. Just passing through. Take another breath or two here, savoring these last moments of stillness. And then go ahead and push yourself up to a seated position. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Thank you for letting me guide you today. The teacher in me honors and appreciates the teacher in you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I made it for you guys while you were sleeping. Okay, yeah, that works. Jonathan, I'm honored that I get to be your first yoga teacher ever.